Hi, everybody. Danielle Rapolo here, your regional performance consultant for the West Coast at Planet Beach Corporate. Today, we're going to discuss the importance of setting your spa's goals. Well, if you don't already know what the importance of setting your spa's goals are, the main purpose is to achieve at least a 10% increase year over year. That way, we can ensure growth within your business. A few facts about Planet Beach goal setting. Really, we want to set them out for the entire year. Map out your goals for the entire year. That way, it's easy for you to stay on track in case you hit those months where those obstacles that we just can't control happen and you aren't able to hit the specific month's goals, and you can readjust it to make up for what you didn't get from the previous month. So, year over year, planning out is really where you want to be. That's where it's at. If not that, at least each quarter, business quarter, it's always important to be able to do that and be able to adjust what you weren't able to bring in from the previous month or quarter. I want to talk a little bit about setting SMART goals in place. We all know that, okay, here you go, I need to make 35,000 this month coming. That's not a good enough communication as a franchisee to a spa director or as a spa director to the staff. It's not clear enough. It's not putting any type of action plan in place. It's just way too easy to let accountability slip through the cracks whenever you don't communicate your goals clearly. So, what I want to discuss with you is setting them SMART. SMART as in S for specific, M for measurable, A and R for achievable and realistic, and T for time based. Saying I need $35,000 for the month of October is just not going to cut it. I need you to be specific. What in that 35,000 do I need to bring in? Do I need to be more focused on as a spa director to hold my staff accountable, and so on and so forth? So instead of saying I need 35,000 in October, okay, look, I need my net to be half of that. I need my retail and my mem cash to be 25% of that 35,000. So if that's the case, then I need X amount of dollars in retail to come in. I need X amount of dollars in mem cash, and X amount of dollars is my net EFT. So do what you need to do in order to collect everybody. Do what you need to do in order to have specials on your Memcash. Put together a calendar and show me what you'll do in order to hit those goals, but be specific. Measurable. This is what tools are you going to use to make sure that you're on top of hitting those goals. So in other words, you're already using the daily game plan. That's something that's going to help you measure out hitting that goal. There's also other tools to use as well, which is available on Orion if you go into the Spa Performance folder and dig around in the management and setting goals and accountability. There's a ton of different tools in there for you to be able to map out not just that month or the day. There's weekly goal setting, daily goal setting, mid-month, and individual month out planning, and there is a 90-day game plan in place for you to be able to use if you want to map out the entire quarter. So if I'm being specific on to the dollar, to the T, on what my goals are, I then tell my spa director, go to Orion, I want you to use this tool, and this tool when you are communicating with me each day for your accountability. You also want to be sure that the goals that you do put in place are achievable and realistic. In other words, at this time last year, maybe you didn't own that other business that you have, or maybe you didn't work at the job that you decided to start working at a few months ago. So your distraction is taken away from what's been going on in your spa. You're trying to get your numbers back up, and an increase over what last year is just not possible. Don't set it at that number. It's perfectly fine. You want to be sure that these goals that you're setting in place, they are achievable, because the number one thing that happens in these spas are your consultants, your directors, they get demotivated. That's not even close to being possible. I'm never going to get my incentive. I'll never hit my bonus that way. I'll never be able to make commissions because we just are not at that place where this is even possible. Be sure that they're achievable. Make sure that they're attainable. And that way you keep a motivated staff that will actually hit a realistic goal for you. And then lastly, time-based. We all know that, of course, there's already a timestamp on this. Their deadline is the end of the month, but set each week, set a follow-up, set an action item in place whenever you're discussing your goals with your spa director, or spa directors when you're discussing your goals with your staff. If they fall behind, listen, so here's all the goals, here's the tools that you're going to use. Last week you lagged a little bit behind on your goals. So what we want to do is put this in your calendar. Next Friday, we're going to meet back up and we're going to see where you're at as far as recouping some of that loss that you didn't get from last week. I want to make sure that you stay on top of your goals because I want to give you your incentive. I want to give you a big paycheck. I want to keep them motivated. Make sure that you do follow-up items and give them deadlines because a goal with no deadline is just a wish. So who communicates and who sets these goals? At this point, you already know if you're a franchisee, you're the person that's communicating these SMART goals to your spa director. So the franchisee communicates the spa's goals to the spa director, and it's up to the spa director to divvy that up among the staff and communicate these SMART goals to the staff. And then they turn right back around for each day when they are held accountable to their franchisee to communicate these goals and their actuals back to the franchisee. When do you do it? Daily. So let's talk about, now that we know how to communicate these goals, we're going to talk about configuring these goals and putting them into your Spa Intel software. Where do I go to get my numbers from last year? How do I know where I'm at year to date this year? Well, you go to Spa Central at the link shown here at www.spacentral.planetbeach.com. You can log in and then click the Spa Rankings tab to filter your search for the upcoming month and recommended quarter. That way you can really map out October, November, and December. But filter your results to show the upcoming month and then the upcoming month of the previous year of October. The previous year for October. And remember to click update. It doesn't automatically refresh to that when you click that previous year's month. So filter it out for October 2013, click update, and then find your spa to get the numbers from last October or last quarter. And then what you're going to do is take those numbers and configure what your 10% increase is going to be for the specific upcoming month. So just to throw a little screenshot in there for you in case you've not done this yet, you haven't seen it yet, you've never done this before, this is sort of what it looks like whenever you go to the Spa Rankings tab at Spa Central to get those numbers. And you could see that it's broken down retail, Memcash, your net EFT. You even see daily deals, refunds, any non-revenue that you've recorded, you're in the bank, and you're in the bank last year. Now, let's enter in our October goals. When in Spa Intel, you want to have your dashboard pulled up. Now, franchisees and spa directors, you should be the only ones to be able to access this. But when you take a look at your dashboard, you want to click on Spa Goal Management, which is located right here, right above Sell Gift Certificate. And when we click on here, this is the screen that comes up, your Spa Goal Management. Really simple, really easy. Then I'm going to go to the month, and I'm going to click on October, and then hit refresh. So now that I'm in October, this is where we plug in what we've configured our goals to be after we've added in that 10% increase. It already tells me how many days are in the month. It's already telling me how many days are in this week and so on and so forth. Now, since this is October, we're still in September technically, it's going to show a little bit different information right here. But this is the only place that we're going to go ahead and plug in our goals. As you see, you can hit membership cash. You would type that in. First, by hitting Edit Spa Goals, of course, and then it allows you to edit this. So, Edit Spa Goals, enter in membership cash, which your retail ends up being your EFT that you want to have fully collected by the end of the month. Any daily deals if you foresee any of those coming in, and what your in the bank should be or want it to be. How many guests, how many members, how much you brought in an EFT increase, and red appointments. Don't want to dwell too much on that decrease right there, but these are the main things that you want to focus on when setting your goals. If you don't know the difference between guests and guests and red appointments, guests are walk-ins. Guests are the red appointments that show up, that use the services. Red appointments are what did you do, and how many people did you schedule on each appointment book for each day. How many did you schedule based on your prospecting efforts? Some of these are no-shows, some of these reschedule, things like that. And guests are actual people that show up to use the services or that just walk in with no appointment. So just to be clear on when you're setting these goals, that's the difference between these two. You can also insert individual goals here by choosing the employee and then plugging in what their percent to the spa's goal is. It could automatically fill for you if you just plug in what the percent of their goals are. And if you have no idea on how that works, you have to plug in each employee's work schedule first. So if your staff's schedule for the month is not plugged in your management tab, then this won't autofill for you. You'll have to manually do that. And you can find out what the percent of your spa goal, the percent that they're held accountable to the goal for the spa is by using the daily game plan or the individual monthly action plan, both on Orion. So that's basically it. That's how you set these goals in Spa Intel. And we're going to have the Q&A set for this Thursday coming up at 10 a.m. Central Time and again at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to call in and because you have questions, if you want to hear what other people are doing, if you want to just basically sit in to see and hear how this works a little bit more in detail, because maybe there were some questions that you had that were not answered on this specific training, please call in. The phone number and access code is located on the newsletter for you to be able to do so. Thank you for your time today, and good luck with setting your